What's up? What's up? What's up? Prosperity and abundance to everyone tuning in. I am Mrs.Melanin Reigns, and it is an honor and a pleasure to be back with you all. So, I wanted to come to you guys today with the topic that Black men need to take better care of themselves and one another. And though I do not know the details of the passing of DJ Twitch, and I really don't even know him, I can identify him from maybe the one or two times that I watched the Ellen show. But I do not want to act as if like this is primarily about him, and it's not about how he led his life, what he tried to do, or how he was taking care of himself or other people, but just in the light of the suicide. And again, I don't even know the details of that because, with Hollywood, you just never know. However, I did want to use this. I felt that I should use this as an opportunity to talk to Black men and whoever else cares for them. It's been a while for me. I've been through a lot in these last couple of years that has really opened my eyes to a lot. And also, there was definitely a period of just I want to say bitterness. I think it's okay to say bitterness. I definitely was really broken hearted in a way, not in a romantic way, but broken hearted in the sense of like coming to terms with the fact that some of the things that I thought on that spiritual journey, I was really naive. I was being very idealistic, and I see more of the bigger picture. I see more of who we are as humans, human nature, how it plays out in such a dysfunctional setup that has been established globally over the last years. And I was brokenhearted, and I had a experience really of my own that made me just feel like, wow, I had so much respect, love, honor, and viewed Black men in a certain light, and come to find out that, it's just not that. One of the things that I definitely always acknowledged along the way is I understand the roots of this common time, but just the cycles, we've been through as humans. In this particular cycle, the dysfunction that is set up, the additions to that, whether it be culture, whether it be things like slavery, whether it's the everyday lifestyle where people are just rammed with bills, where everything, there's a price on it. There's a price on water. And of course, you can go to a spring, find your own spring, do your own processes. And there are people who have their farms, and there's people who have really gained the type of lifestyle that will bring more peace because they do understand that this whole systematic thing that they have established, it really, it runs you down, it breaks your spirit. And like I said, I want to talk to Black men. I do feel like there's an apology, and you know what, it's beat me up because why should I apologize? But I want to apologize to my audiences if it has ever come across that, I've had this bitterness towards men. I'll be honest with you. There's a lot of things that I see that are factual, whether it's statistic based, and we know things like that is skewed. But like I said, the dysfunction has been mapped out. So the results are really what's showing up. The dysfunction has been mapped out. And even when you consider all of those things, all of the different systematic things or historical things that have went on, is still we still are here. We each have our responsibility to operate our life in a certain way. And I know that certain people have their different way they were brought up, the love, support, dysfunction, mental illness, all of those things play a part. And while I can acknowledge that, one of the things that I really am sticking to is that we just have to, it just is what it is. If you're not showing up as a person of integrity, if you are not operating with discernment and being careful with people. I know that in this world, there can be so many influences that will make you want to be or that can turn you, not make you want to be, because this is about brain function. This is about environmental triggers. This is about biological modification, all of those things included. I still have to look at the next person and see whether they are capable of being in my proximity, whether they are deserving of respect, because some people just are not. There's certain things that are just non-negotiable. But even with all of those things said, like I said, I just have to look at it like it is what it is. So the things I was speaking on, a lot of times the pain took me to do more research. And what I found out via the research, coupled with the nasty things being said online about Black women, coupled with the incompetence I see in the real world, and also the disrespect in the real world for Black women from everybody, including Black women. But yeah, those things definitely shaped my perspective a lot. But and it's crazy, I just prefaced, that was the preface of a apology that I felt I needed to say. But the apology is really for my audiences, because it's really at the point where I'm knowing now that it's time to move on. It's time to take that wisdom and apply it in places. Some spaces I won't be able to talk about. Everything is more so I was given information. God put me in the position to gain information, to be able to move in ways that will continue to protect me and mine, and that can really help me as I try to and I strive to serve. So I do apologize to my audiences, if you ever felt like you were being overwhelmed with anything that disturbed your spirit, unless it was, convicting your spirit, because we all need that. I still, I still have an immense amount of love for everything that God is purposing me to do and for who I'm supposed to be. And I know that it takes little to nothing out of me to empathize with others. And I want to continue to do that. I'm not going to restrict that. I was never going to restrict it just to women, but like I definitely had. Man, it definitely was a bomb that I held on my heart. And I know that there were certain things that have come off really mean. And I do apologize to that. Again, not to men, but my audience, period. So whether you are a man or woman, that is for you, really, because of how I am supposed to serve. And I'm hoping that I can keep up a consistency. I'm a human who goes through so many different things. And all of that included in this video to really show you guys that we're all going through it to some capacity. I was just talking about on Instagram that even millionaires are in a stressful state where they're worried about scarcity, because they're millionaires, but they also have things that cost millions, those large bills that they have to take care of. They have a more amount of money, of course, in a larger credit line. Sorry for the heavy breathing. But they're worried too, because we're all put in this circumstance, and it's different for all of us also. And we have to identify how we play a part in certain things. And I was just talking about on Instagram also that we need community, whether it be your 2, 3, 4, 5 people, that will be the best. And it just can't be because you have the money or resources. The best thing is really depending on who you are. If you're someone like me, the energy has to be right. The intentions have to be right. We all have to be doing our work on ourselves, on our, different things like jealousy and all that stuff gets in the way. The way these people have programmed the world to be, that has impacted our children, because in schools, that's what you're learning. These little subtle things will build up to a certain mindset and how you deal with things. And then it's just dog eat dog world where everybody's just trying to survive. They got to do what they have to do. And then you have genuinely wicked spirited. But for most people, it's still, there's more people that are stuck in this rat race, just trying to survive and doing things where, in the world, there's not really too much integrity being promoted in any space, especially entertainment, which everybody resorts to for escapism due to the circumstances they put in. It's hard, and for Black men specifically, hey, if I just have like a couple of you, which I know there are quite a few of Black men who always reach out to me, and they're always talking to me, and I'm seeing, I see the work that they are doing, and not like the performative stuff. I'm talking about genuine spirited Black men. And keep going on that path if that's you, man. I had a brother reach out to me. I told him, you brought tears to my eyes, not because you're a black man, but because it's important to meet people who are genuinely doing this work, who are genuinely understanding, like, hey, like, I'm not going to take the definition of what this world or society is telling me to be. That is so damaging. It damages everyone. Some people can fight through it, perform through it. Some people genuinely have lost their soul in the process, and that's them. But if you know, like, if you know that you're not likened to the spirit, don't play that game. Okay? Powerful, one of my new slogans is powerful women, but powerful anybody. Powerful women don't play the game, they influence it. I don't want to play the game. I see it for what it is, and I can see who the players are. I can see what roles they're playing now. That's the wisdom that has been imparted on me on a whole different level as I went through this narcissistic abuse. It's gotten to the point where I cannot even say that I'm not grateful for it, because I see things on a whole different level. When you're somebody like that, you have to take care of yourself. You need a little community around you where those people are on a like-spirited basis. You don't need people who just have the mindset or have the logic. You need people who have the spirit too. You need that. And it's so important to take care of ourselves on a level that is not superficial. It's so important to take care of our soul. Our spirit is not a game. It's not a game. And again, this is not against this brother. This is speaking to all of us, because this is the type of thing that the world is triggering people to contemplate. I didn't even realize how many people have suicidal thoughts. I didn't even realize how many young children are cutting themselves. I did not realize the levels of torment that goes on, the things that people are triggered to do. Because even when you see murder in your city or wherever, that is not a natural thing for the human to just get up and do. It's not. So that speaks to the type of environment we're living in. Everything's becoming more tech savvy. We're able to make this precision, that precision, but yet the diseases are persistent. The cures are not. It's all by design. I'm saying all this to say that it's all by design. And it is easier if you have 2-3 people who are willing to get to a space where they will put in towards a different lifestyle, a more natural lifestyle. It's not a game. It doesn't need to be a fad. And even like different phases of my spiritual journey, I'm realizing like the first half, that beginning of going plant-based, of the knowledge of the things, the way I was, like, that was more so I feel like that was me reprogramming myself. But the way my spirit has truly opened up, the way that my authenticity is coming into place is not in a space of performative. It's not in a space of, okay, because I'm plant-based and naming all those things. And I've always said that. I've always articulated the same thing, that is deeper than just having the locks or all of those things. But now I'm really in a different awakening and awareness. And we have to take care of ourselves. We have to take care of ourselves. We have to, and not all of us. And when I say we have to, I'm speaking to the people who are going to listen to this, because 9 times out of 10, we're on a certain frequency, whereas though you resonate or you have understanding, because not everybody's going to click on this. Very few people are going to listen to this. And I'm saying that we have to take care of ourselves. When you know that you're sensitive in that way, you got to take even more care of yourself. And when you learn these things, there's a gentle way to influence even those who may not even be making the progress towards the awareness. The same way these other people are influencing them, but not for that negative reason, not to have power over these people, not to be operating as if we are their God, not even operating to force them into any decision making. But, especially if you're a parent, we have to consider this. We have to prepare our children for this. I'm a mom. I'm definitely, fighting to get back to my space of really flowing like how I used to flow now, with more wisdom and more respect for the Most High, and discipline and discernment, So prepare yourself, prepare your household, get rid of those things that are on we have to get rid of those things on our subconscious and that we're sitting on. And that's why I made the apology, because it was sitting on me. That stuff I just been through and still making it through, and really rejoicing already, but still making it through. I've been asking and declaring that it would just be done, and I will have learned a lesson and not need to repeat a lesson like that again. Because what? You make it through the childhood stuff, there's adulthood stuff that comes into play. There's stuff that's always trying to come up against you. And we have to keep reminding ourselves to get it up off of us. So I'm going to end that video there. I apologize if it seemed off topic, but honestly, not just Black men, but we have to take care of ourselves. And I might actually make that the title. But we have to take care of ourselves, y'all.